Right, ladies and gents, welcome back to another Charlton video. Feeling quite chupper because we just appointed Nathan Jones, which I think is a fantastic managerial appointment, and we'll get into that. Weird doing an upload straight after a game. It's not a very normal thing for me. I do normally 2 uploads a week maximum, never within 2 in the same day or 24-hour period. So yeah, it's a new thing for me, but it had to be done because I wanted to obviously talk about the new guy before we go away to Reading on Saturday. So what I'm going to do is something different today. I'm just going to share my screen with you so you can see what I'm looking at as well while I talk about it. So hopefully it's a bit more engaging, a bit more interactive and not so boring. First of all, backgrounds, plain wall. I've tried to add some Charlton shirts to make it look a bit red, but I fully accept front not the most exciting thing to watch. So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys. Bear with, because obviously it probably won't look too professional, because obviously OBS is loaded up. We'll go on some web pages. So first of all, we'll probably just look at a couple of comments on social media, I guess, way to start off. So this is the Instagram page by Charlton, obviously announcing Nathan Jones' managerial appointment. Got a few comments here off the rip. Obviously, you got mine at the top. Absolutely buzzing. Welcome, Nathan Jones. Best appointment since Curbs. I'll get into that because I truly mean that. And I will try and look at the camera sometimes while looking at the comments, but obviously as I'm reading this, it's not going to be too interactive. Saints fan here, you've got a great manager. I'm going to go on a whim there and say that's a complete piss take. I don't think that's genuine at all. Quality manager, leave for money at any given chance unless he's changed since being out of management a year and a half. I'm going to assume that's a Luton fan. Luton fan here, give this man your support for a decent period of time and he will maximise everything at his disposal. He improved us year after year, year on year rather, and played a massive part of where we are. Keyword manager, let's go, which is obviously quite relevant. Normally we announce our head coaches as, well, just that, head coaches. It's been a while since we appointed a manager, so I think that sort of suggests that maybe he'll have a lot of freedom over our transfers and our money, kitty bank, whatever you want to call it. Get in there, an absolute coup when you're sitting at the bottom of the 3rd tier. Please let this be the change, please. I guess it's Charlton and optimism. Joe Andrews says, great appointment, please keep us in this division. Well, Charlton Nathan Jones, which is of course, that's his first port of call. It'll be to keep us up. Great appointment, welcome to Charlton Nathan Jones. Fantastic appointment. So the general gist seems quite positive on Instagram anyway. It's not important people think when you come in, it's much more important people think when you leave. Joe Klopp, I think that's probably like a more negative comment. And then we'll have a little scroll over to, I'm sure I had Twitter loaded up as well. Let me get to it. Yeah, so Twitter. So Valley Fred, regular poster on Twitter, says unreal appointment. Pretty short and sweet. We got I thought I saw Waz's comment, that's why I was prepared to say it. Yeah, we got Waz here. Check that dude out. He's a good lad to Waz. He sells his own stuff online. He does like good deals for like good clobber and sort of like tickets and stuff. So yeah, and he's a good lad. So check out his stuff if you get a chance. If you're interested in any match day tickets or a clobber that's hard to find, he's normally a guy for that. Waz said, finally not a manager and not a head coach. Sorry, finally. I think he meant to say finally a manager and not a head coach, but now into football matches, please. Fully agree. Got Guy Davis, a good lads again. Nathan Jones, 100% behind you and the boys. Let's get out the mess we're in. Got to agree with that. I think that he's galvanised support this appointment. Well done and thanks to the investors for overseeing and financing this appointment. It's a massive upgrade in his predecessor. I've got to agree. HBS transfer relegated, fantastic. There's me using the old South Park. Well, we can see what's going on there. I feel I took that off someone. I can't remember who I saved that off. So whoever that was, I'm sorry. Credit to yourself, of course. I just can't remember. It was a long time ago. I saved that picture. Good luck, Nathan. I'll back you. However, if CFC fans feel to solve the inherent and big problems at the club, then I fear there will be a big thump as reality hits and hits hard. A competent person in charge of helps on the field. Let's hope off the field doesn't harm us. From Chris_CAFC. Got to agree with that, but I'm still positive. We've got Big Ben over there saying Nathan Jones, Red and White Army. Get ready to chant, obviously, for Saturday. Good lads. Wow, what an appointment. Let's hope we get a massive lift as well as up the league and away from near perilous position we find ourselves in. Also, the fact he's a manager is amazing. No more of this head coach crap. Fanny deciding transfers. Spot on, Lewis. Yeah, Lewis Stubbs is quite right there. Obviously, another Southampton fan. Have fun, lads. 167 likes. It's obviously a negative one. I'll talk about Southampton. And hopefully Southampton fans watch my video and we can talk about it in the comments about what they think. Can't wait for the post in 3 months saying we've sacked Nathan Jones. Another little cheeky negative one, which you're going to get. A Luton Town fan, and I really like this comment. He said, if you give him a bit of time and resources, he will, like adamant there, get you back to where you want to be. He knows you're similar to us as a club. You are bigger. Appreciate it. But he'll see the project as being similar, if not better. Ignore the rubbish around him at Southampton. He's better than that. Enjoy. Again, we will touch on that. I'll sort of just fly through a few quickly. Long-term contract. Let this man build. Not expecting miracles overnight, but fair play to owners on getting him in. He's a top coach. Absolutely buzzing. That's from Allen, CAFC 1905. Long-term, so sacked in October then. DFC, not sure who that is. The away end in Reading is going to be gorgeous. Yeah, it should be. Pack that away crowd, Jack, so that should be good. Hope to see you there, mate. Nathan Jones masterclass. Yeah, we've actually got a manager who actually has a masterclass video on YouTube, which is pretty cool. Good old chap dancing for another top poster on Twitter. Mark, the worst kept secret. It was indeed, but you know, it's a very good secret to keep. Yeah, so like it seems quite positive. The overwhelming reaction is positive, obviously. So I'm just gonna go back to OBS and go full screen while I speak a little bit quickly. And again, I do apologise for the whole switching in and out. I'm not going to edit this video properly. I'm going to be blunt. It's just a quick one to talk about Nathan Jones with a bit of effort before I go into the game on Saturday, which I'll be focusing around Reading more and Reading's obviously woes and financial crisis. I want to, because obviously as a Charlton fan I can relate to that. I can relate to hard times as a fan. So I'm going to talk to a lot of those up there and sort of, you know, get the gist on what's going on and sort of centre the content around their struggles, because I think they deserve that sort of exposure to sort of, you know, show how incompetent these owners can be. That unfortunately great clubs like Reading and Charlton and many others have been, you know, left with. So anyway, so yeah, back to Nathan Jones. My verdict is I think it's the best managerial appointment since God knows when. Like I wrote a big post on Charlton Life about it. And I'm of the belief that since I've been alive and watching Charlton, Curbs has been our best manager by a country mile. Like, it's not even close. We've had so many absolute frauds managers, like just blokes who don't have shouldn't be anywhere near a football club. Like, they're not underqualified completely. Like, I would do a better job than some of these managers, because I feel like even on a personal level, they couldn't even talk to people. They had no social skills, let alone managerial skills. At least I'd have got that right. I'd been able to talk to people at least. Some of these managers were just frankly antisocial and just had terrible people skills and emotional intelligence. So that alone just pissed me off about so many managers we've had. We haven't really had any good tactical managers since we got relegated twice. You know, in God, what we're looking at, 2008, 2009. It's just been a downward trajectory ever since, with a few little good blips along the way. Yeah, so you look back at our last manager, Appleton. Thank God he got sacked. I know that sounds horrible, but he was severely underqualified. Terrible win rate, terrible history at most clubs he's been at, and all the signs were there that it was a bad appointment. I think the general consensus was amongst Charlton fans was that he was a bad appointment. I'd done a video immediately saying he was a terrible appointment when he got appointed, and I called it to get sacked in January, and here we were in January, sacked, looking for a manager. All the other managers, I'm not talking about them all, so it'll take quite a long time, but when I focus about the good managers that did do quite well for us, which is obviously Chris Powell and Lee Bowyer, I feel like with them it was quite a lot of luck involved. Like, I feel like the timing was right. I feel like Lee Bowyer sort of walked into a relatively good squad, and he galvanised the fans together. Like, I don't think his tactics were like all that, being honest. Especially just before he left to go to Birmingham City, like the football was really woeful. I remember it just being terrible, and I do think he would have got sacked by Sangard anyway. And he started getting bitter. So his post-match interviews are quite bitter. It didn't. The atmosphere around the ground wasn't as good as what it was during the promotion season, which is obviously like one of my favourite seasons following Charlton. So yeah, I think Lebo ran out of ideas. I think he had a good squad for League One at the time, and then I think he was severely underfunded in the Championship, which obviously led to the relegation. And I think Chris Powell's been a good timing as well. Chris Powell had a lot of funds. He spent a lot of money at the time on really good players and had a really good squad in League One. And with that momentum used in the Championship to finish obviously 9th. So what I'm getting to is that when we appointed these managers like Bowyer and Chris Powell, is there was no history or track record they were actually going to be good managers for us. It was just Charlton men, Charlton connections, ex-players, and they galvanised support. There was no real evidence they had tactical ability to actually push us up the table. Nathan Jones, on the other hand, has actually shown that. If you look at his records, which I will do quickly, let's go back, editing, hey? Let's go back to one of my browsers. I was looking at his Wikipedia page. So if you look at his managerial career, obviously had a spell as a Brighton, Hove Albion caretaker. We're not going to look into that too much. Luton Town's most significant, obviously, time with Nathan Jones, and that's why we've obviously appointed him. So his first spell, 170 games played, 87 wins, 46 draws, 37 losses, a 51% win ratio. So obviously very respectable. Well, frankly, it's very good. 51% as a manager is always good. If you're winning half your games, then yeah. So yeah, a really good record. Obviously got Luton up the leagues, got him a promotion, National League, League 2, and then when he was on the cusp of a promotion in League 1, he of course left them for Stoke in early January, which I think was a mistake. At the time I thought it was a mistake. I felt like he always should have seen the season out with Luton. They got promoted anyway that season, Luton, which I think was obviously, he was a major reason for that. He put it all in place for him. Had a really torrid time at Stoke, like see it there, 15% win rate is absolutely shocking. 6 wins, 15 draws, 17 losses, just yeah, pretty woeful. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt though, and obviously if Stoke fans watch this, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like he was given a bit of a poison chalice job. I think a lot of managers have gone to Stoke and sort of tarnished their reputation a little bit going there. It's a club that got relegated very recently from the Premier League at the time, had a lot of players on big money, a lot of disorder in the squad, probably people thinking they should be playing at a level higher than what they should have been, and a lot of people just there for the paycheck and not for Stoke themselves. And the impression I got from their fans was that it was a tough job for anyone. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not what happened. Maybe he did have everything at his disposal, and he just got exposed at a Championship level. But I'm not of that belief, because as you can see, when he went back to Luton, he kept them up when they were. Relegation was, they were on the trapdoor of relegation completely, and he managed to seal it tight and walk away from it. And of course, the following season, I believe he got them into the playoffs. Luton, I think he got them to the playoffs. I can't remember who they lost to, because again, you'll have to excuse me. Probably should have checked that prior to making the video. But I believe he got them into the playoffs and left them in a much better spot than what they were than when he took them over again. But then, of course, he made the mistake again of leaving Luton. And Luton, ironically, again got promoted when he left, which I would credit to him a lot more than the latest manager he got, because I feel like he put everything in place for them, and went to Southampton. So it's a case of he seems to run before he's walked at a steady pace, per se. And obviously people think that he's a bit of a snaky manager, which I get. I think he's obviously been a bit ambitious twice, which you can understand. He's jumped the league twice and sort of backed himself, looking at those records. But at the end of the day, it's like people have always been looking for upgrades, right, and more money and more fame, all this stuff. I get it, like that's what everyone's doing in life, and that's why I don't hold grudges too bare on people who upgrade. Obviously it's not nice when it happens to you, but that's the natural flow of football. Obviously Charlton will take players from lower clubs, we will take managers from like lesser clubs, and then that will happen to us. We'll get people will take our players and our managers. That's just the nature of football. It's a vicious cycle until you work your way up and you're out of that sort of bed of clubs where their potential gets taken, and youth gets taken. So all in all, I'm very happy. I searched his preferred style play as well, which is obviously a 1-3-5-2. Does he actually claim to say that? Is he one of the managers that says that the goalkeeper is part of formation? So I always think that's a bit extra if he does. But yeah, he plays a 3-5-2, which there's question marks if we suit that play style, to be honest, based on our players. Shape of the team on a pitch, differs considerably in the phases with and without the ball. So that would be interesting, that we can actually have a bit of fluidity and change our shape during the game. But in essence, he loves to play with back three, flying wing backs, and industrious midfield and two up front. Well, what's handed there is we've got one of the best industrious midfielders in the league, in my opinion, provided he stays in George Dobson. So hopefully that'll be a good player for Nathan Jones to work with. The problem is we don't have the wing backs. We don't have any good wing backs at Charlton. I'll go full screen in a second. Let me just talk about what Charlton said so far. There's not much on it actually. It says long-term appointment, but there's not much from him. He's got an interview shortly to come. Obviously, it highlights his previous spell with us as a youth team, under 21 lead coach, that led to his Brighton job. Got a bit from James Rodwell. I'm not going to talk about him too much. We're really pleased to appoint Nathan Jones, etc., etc. Yeah, I don't want to read all that. I want to read what Nathan Jones said. I'm extremely excited by the challenge in front of me at Charlton. It is a club that I have fond memories of from my time here, and I want to play my part in moving the club forwards. I've been approached by a number of clubs to get back into management, which doesn't surprise me, but I've been waiting for the right opportunity. From my conversations with the board and given the long-term nature of the contract, which sounds good, hopefully that's 3 or 4 years at least, I could see there's a real appetite to build something here, which I'm really looking forward to being a part of. Supporters will be able to watch Nathan Jones' first interview across channels early next week, which is what I spoke about a second ago. And finally, before I go full screen and talk to you guys and talk to myself essentially, I just want to look at the run of fixtures he's got. So his opening games with Reading away, which is a massive game. It's a complete 6-pointer. Like, we need to win that or at least draw so Reading don't gain on us. Then we've got Lincoln at home 3 nights later, which is going to be quite a tricky game again because Lincoln look very promising at their ground, but I think they're quite homesick on the road, Lincoln. So, and then I'm looking at these games like Bolton, Portsmouth and Derby, and I'm just writing them off completely, to be frank. I think February is a horror show a month. I think it's going to be really hard to get many points there. I think March will sort of determine our season. Got a very favourable run. Northampton away, who we've got a very good record at. Charlton away, which typically speaking we don't have a good record at, but Charlton find themselves in quite a bad position this season. Carlisle at home, you'd like to think will be a win, a home win. And then Fleetwood away, another massive game. They're right down there with us. Not the best record there from memory. But of course, we need to win those sort of games if we want to stay up. No disrespect to Fleetwood. Again, Wigan, similar level to us at the moment. Actually above us with an 8-point deduction. So that's only because of the point deduction. They're on a similar level to us. And then finally, to close out the month, Exeter away. And then again, you look at our month afterwards, April. Stevenage at home is going to be a tough one. So is Barnsley. But Cambridge away, Wickham away, and Shrewsbury at home are all favourable fixtures. So I'm just going to go back to my full screen again. Bear with me with the whole... Anyway, so them fixtures, it's going to be a blockbuster end of the season. Make no mistake about it, we are a relegation scrap all day. We have been for a long time. We've completely fucking sleptwalked into this, and it's infuriating. Like, I know I'm not going to be too angry because it's in the past now and it's done. You can't change it. But the incompetence to let that man Appleton have as many games he got 28 games or whatever it was, and I can assure you it was fucking 28 too many. He should have been sacked. He shouldn't have even got the job. Should have been sacked way early on. He should have got sacked on Boxing Day. If we'd have got Nathan Jones in before January, he'd have had the whole of January to manoeuvre the squad the way he wanted, get in the right people, have a transfer window. He had a favourable run of fixtures during that month, and instead we just stuck with an absolute incompetent manager. And Andy Scott, Rodwell and Methven need to be held accountable for this. Like, because I'm from what I've gathered, it sounds like the owners have come in and basically gone, you lot are fucking amateurs, we're getting a manager in ourselves and we're dealing with this. Because that's what it comes across like to me. And I think that's maybe quite telling by the statement. So there's no comment from Andy Scott, which I'm glad about. Because I'm sick of these fucking shitters coming into my club and not signing the right players and just wasting our resources. I'm sick of it. And I've got full faith that someone like Nathan Jones is not going to do that to us. I've got absolute, concrete, 100% faith that if we give him the funds and the checkbook, he will get the right players in. So yeah, so that's what I was wrong about those three. I'll probably do a separate video on that one day, I don't know. But I think the owners need to take a look at the lack of quality in our recruitment team. When you look at sides like, I always say it, like Oxford's, Peterborough, who, no disrespect to them, they're great footballing sides this season, but they don't have the sort of resources we have or the infrastructure or potential. And yet season after season they outplace us, they get better players in, they play better football than us, and it just infuriates me that we can't do that. And it is down to these bad decisions being made at staff level. So back to Nathan Jones. 3-5-2. Whether or not we've got the players to accommodate the 3-5-2, I don't know, because I'm going to be blunt. Our centre backs look pretty fucking shoddy. Like, Thomas looks quite decent. Hector's injured. Is Jones injured because he didn't play, or is he out of form? I can't remember. Nez isn't ready for the first team, in my opinion. He should be on loan. I'm not sure about the new boy, Reg. I'm not sure about the lad from Plymouth. I think he looks a bit slow, and his passing range looks okay. But the funny thing is, his pass cost us a goal against Derby. So, like, I don't know. Maybe they're shot to pieces, their confidence. I don't know. But it's worrying for me that he's going to play a 5-back when I don't think we have good defenders. Our strength lies in the midfield, probably, and our front options. So I wonder if he'll think about doing a temporary formation just for this season, just to secure our survival. Sorry, I'm quite aware this video is on for 21 minutes, which is a really fucking long time. God, I love the sound of my own voice, because I didn't realise I was speaking for that long. So I'll probably try and wrap it up as quick as possible, actually, from here on out, because, again, I'm not going to pretend I'm some super, like, tactical genius, but I feel I've got a fair bit of common sense, and I can call it how I see it a lot of the time. And I think if Charlton have appointed a manager that a Premier League side were willing to recruit, then that's quite a positive side, deal for me. I think the Stoke appointment, he was unlucky. I think that it wasn't the right environment for Nathan Jones. I think Stoke fans, again, no respect to them, like, they're their own entity. I think they've just been relegated from the Prem. They're looking for a bit of success. They're spending a lot of money, so understandably they're looking to get promoted. It's like a quick fix back to the Prem. Charlton fans have been there in the League One. We expect a quick fix a lot of the time, so I understand their frustration, and it hasn't worked out, so I get that. But I think it was the wrong move for him. I think going back to Luton was the perfect move, and I think he left again too soon. But hopefully these sort of things lead to us having a bit of a upward trajectory up the football leagues again. And obviously Southampton, the appointment, I just think Southampton fans have got to be kidding themselves a little bit. Southampton are a great club, a big club, but the reality is when they're in the Prem down where they were, they didn't have a very good squad. Like, when you could match up their squad compared to the Premier League teams that season, they didn't have a very good team. They had some excellent players, of course, who have moved on, like such as James Ward-Prowse. That's the key one. But ultimately, they didn't really have the squad that was going to ensure survival. So he sort of had his hands tied to an extent where there was about, maybe 10 to 15 teams that Southampton would have been fortunate to finish above. So I just think that was a really big job for Nathan Jones, and I think it was the wrong time to take it. Especially, I think it was the wrong time to take it. I'm not going to go into it too much, but I've got a lot of sympathy for him there. He took a big shot, he took a risk, and it didn't pay off. And he's took his time out of football now. He's had a bit of a reset. The batteries are charged. He's had a rest, and he's gone for us. And I'm not being biased. I don't think he could have picked a better job. And the reason why I say this is because in the Championship, if he'd have taken a job such as Huddersfield, might have been a good fit. Actually, I was going to say Huddersfield, but you look at some of these clubs. They're also in that period where they're looking for quick fixes, and fans are impatient, and we are to an extent. But we are desperate to build a connection with a manager again, and a manager that can actually galvanise the support, get us rocking again, because we've got such a fucking flat atmosphere at the moment in the Valley. It's dead, and it's because of these statues like Michael Appleton. We need a manager like him that just unites people, injects that bit of energy and passion. We need it, and I'm hoping he can get them players to play with that sort of effort and commitment, because it works both ways. Okay, the atmosphere is shit, but we need players and managers to give us a reason to cheer and get happy. So, with that said, I think it's good timing. I think his stock's low, and our stock's low. And I think when he looks at us, he probably thinks, right, I've done it with Luton before when they're in the shit. I'm going to have the patience here of the fans, because we are going to get behind him. You can see we're going to get behind him. He's going to have a lot of good stock here. He's going to be in credit massively, and he's going to get time to build something. and I think he needs that environment. I think if he had gone to a club more like Derby in this league or what have you, I think he'd have struggled a bit. That's a harder job because their fans have higher expectations than us at the moment. Whereas as Charlton fans, we're just sort of looking for a manager that just actually gets players playing with belief and can actually fight at the top of the table. Like, I've seen Derby fans that weren't too happy the other day on a Charlton podcast because they were fourth, and obviously you saw my vlog with my uncle, and he was basically saying Derby ain't playing that well, and they're in second. If Charlton fans are in second, we'd be the most delusional, unbearable fuckers on earth, I imagine, at games. So like, we're looking for something completely different, and I think Jones offers that, and I think we're made for each other right now. I think he needs a project that will catapult his career and put his stock back up high. Whether or not he leaves when that happens, I don't really care, because if he does, we'll be in a good position, obviously. And I think we're in a position where we needed someone that was a serious manager, because we've had too many fucking clowns and frauds before him. So apart from obviously the Charlton boys like Jacko, Jacko, Bowyer, Powell, I don't include in that conversation, but the majority of the rest of them we've appointed since Curbs, fucking clowns. So yeah, it's really nice for a change of rhythm and an actual manager that's got a bit of pedigree. A manager you wouldn't be too surprised to see rock up at a championship job again. You know what I mean? Like, it's very nice for Charlton to get linked with that calibre of manager again. Even on the bookies odds, we're linked with Warnock, Rowett, Warburton, Michael Duff. We had some real good names be linked to us, so that's a really nice, refreshing change at Charlton. So yeah, I might not come across it, but I swear I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm absolutely ecstatic with him. Sort of a jump for joy when I read the news, but obviously a bit of a delayed jump for joy because most people knew he was getting appointed anyway. So that's just going to wrap it up there. 26 minutes. Fucking hell, mate. Gonna need a drink after that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Like I said, it's not something I do too often, talking on my own anymore, sort of keep it to the games, but I thought it was necessary to give him a bit of a video. Fair play if you watched the whole thing. You must have enjoyed it to an extent. I appreciate it. If you were a Southampton fan that watched this video, you rather are a Southampton fan, or a Luton fan, or a Stoke fan, I'd be very interested to hear what your thoughts are and how you matched up to Charlton. Please post in the comments and talk to me. Charlton fans, same thing, talk to me in the comments, but I imagine it'll be probably 0-1 and positive. I've got a roast dinner to get to. My aunt's going to kill me if I'm late again, because I keep being late, and I definitely didn't expect to talk for this long. Guys, feeling really positive. I know we're in a relegation scrap, but let's fucking get together, mate. Let's get to Reading, sell it out like I think we have. I think we're close to selling it out. Let's make some fucking noise and just show him that, like, we want our day in the sun again. Like, we've not given up, because it's so morbid when I go to these games and we're not backing the lads. But I get it. I get it. But let's hope we can turn that shit around and just all get together and just fucking survive this shit show of a season, and just prepare ourselves for next year and have a real go at it, and hopefully at the very least be creeping around the playoffs. That's the dream. Fucking hell, that's the dream as a Charlton fan now. Playoffs in League One, eh? Right, anyway, same old shit as usual. So those that usually watch, I really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around, all that good stuff. I'll see it running away. To anyone that's new and you enjoyed it, again, same goes to you guys. Appreciate it. Obviously subscribe, whichever side it's on your screen. Subscribe. Obviously hit notice on if you enjoyed the sound of my voice, and that's it really. And again, just hope you all enjoy yourselves. It's a Sunday. Get ready for the working week, guys, eh? And that's it from me. Take care. I will see you when I see you.